Hello folks, welcome back to PoizenJam Builds a Bass. Today we're going to continue working on the Solo Guitars JBK-1 Build a Bass kit. So last time we used a water-based grain filler to fill in the open pores on our mahogany body. Most type of open pored woods such as mahogany require grain filling, so I was led to believe, and that is what we did. Between that last episode and this one, I have sanded it down with 400 grit sandpaper to remove the excess grain filler that was still sitting on top of it. Okay, so we are going to apply a dye. This is the same dye I applied the first time I attempted to finish this base, but it all had to be stripped off. So now I will need to reapply it. What we're going to be using is a Walnut stain by Birchwood Casey. One of the limitations of living in an apartment and not having a workspace is having to do all of this stuff by hand using non-volatile chemicals that can be used in poorly ventilated spaces. Stains, dye-based stains, are one way around that. Applying the stain is a relatively easy process. You want to pour the stain out, dilute it as much as you want it to be to get it to the tint you want, and then apply it using a balled up rag. So pretty simple. We're going to open up our container that we're going to use to put the dye in. We're going to open our dye. Ooh, that's not good. Important lesson there. Make sure that the vessel that you use to contain your dye is clean and free of contaminants. I just found a bit of tru-oil that apparently had leaked into that container from the last time I attempted to finish this base. Without further ado, we have poked a hole in our Birchwood Casey walnut stain, and we're going to pour it into our container. So again, I like to start back to front, back to front. Oh, I'm gonna need some gloves. That's better. Probably gonna take off my Apple Watch too. So pretty easy. You soak up the dye with the rag and you rub it in. Very easy process. Wanna move along, going equal parts with the grain and across the grain. Usually I find it easiest to rub into the grain than across for extra coverage. And there you go. Look at the nice color tone you get. Be very careful of beads of sweat coming off your forehead. I actually ruined my dye finish the first time in one part because of that. Giant bead of sweat fell off my forehead and right onto the dye, diluting it and making it lighter in one particular area than anywhere else. This stuff dries relatively quickly, so you can keep moving. Try your best. It won't ruin your finish at this step to touch it as you're dyeing and moving along, but try your best not to. Alright, we've already got one coat done. Very quick. So this stuff does dry exceptionally quickly. So you can keep moving back and forth between the two sides, rubbing the dye in very, very efficiently. The one danger is if you lay it down in a puddle of the dye too soon on one side. Ooh, dye my hair walnut. Alright, so we're gonna move back and on to our next layer. Yeah, I decided way back I'm not diluting this. I like the really rich, walnut. Kind of vaguely reminds me of my childhood. You know, all that furniture from the 70s and 80s. I'm pretty sure I had a coffee table in my childhood home that had exactly this sort of stain applied to it. As I said, you can keep moving very quickly because it dries. Oh, it begins soaking in so that you can put the next layer on pretty quickly. Although I need to do a little extra work around the edges here, it seems. All right. And dare we go darker? I say we dare. So, this is not the best way to do it, but it certainly does work. I think letting it dry a little bit between coats is probably ideal. All right, folks, and there you have it. We have dyed the wood for the JBK-1. So the next step after this will be to apply the tru-oil finish. It does need at least 24 hours or overnight drying before that can be done. So this will be put aside for the night. In the meantime, I want to say thank you for tuning in. We will continue this vlog of the do-it-yourself bass project later. And this is PoizenJam signing off.